am under no illusions about the difficulty of the task before us. Transformations of entire cultures do not happen overnight. It took many decades for postmodernism to become firmly entrenched in the academy and pollute our culture to the point it has today. Likewise, it will take many decades for the age of authenticism to fully blossom in the hearts of ourselves, our families, classrooms, universities, governing bodies, nation, and the world at large. The best way we can make the world a better place is by making America a better place by loving, serving, and rooting for our own country. Once again, in the sage words of President Theodore Roosevelt, quote, "A person must be a good patriot before he can be a good citizen of the world." Experience teaches us that the average man who protests that his international feeling swamps his national feeling, that he does not care for his country because he cares so much for mankind, in actual practice proves himself the foe of mankind. Now, this does not mean in the least that a man should not wish to do good outside of his native land. On the contrary, just as I think the man who loves his family is more apt to be a good neighbor than the man who does not, so I think that the most useful member of the family of nations is normally a strongly patriotic nation. Let us not fear, my fellow Americans, to shower upon our homeland all the authentic love and patriotism she deserves. And let us not aspire toward the mean or mediocre out of a concern for offending other nations. Indeed, many other nations who have become great have done so in large measure because the United States was first great. For example, since our founding, over 100 other nations have created constitutions and governments similar to ours. In the late 1800s, during the pinnacle of British power and prominence on the world stage, Prime Minister William Gladstone stated that the U.S. Constitution is, and I quote, "the most wonderful work ever struck off at a given time by the brain and purpose of man." I don't suppose another British citizen had ever offered such a lavish compliment to our country. We have ample reason to unapologetically take pride in the exceptionalism of our august nation and shower gratitude on her for the rich blessings she has bestowed upon us all. On the other hand, our nation presently faces many troubles of our own making. Let us not turn a blind eye to these self-inflicted wounds, but turn our energies within to take the necessary steps required to yet fulfill our founder's vision of creating a more perfect union. Many years ago, I chose to dedicate my life and career to the cause of freedom. Fortunately, I am still a young man with the greater portion of my life and career still before me, but I cannot accomplish it alone. Indeed, I of myself can do but little, but together we can do much. I call upon everyone within the sound of my voice to rise up and reclaim the right of self-sovereignty that our Creator and Founding Fathers endowed each one of us with. Then, as each one of us improves individually, one by one, organization by organization, governing body by governing body, may we each rise further to help our fellows do the same, in a united effort to restore American greatness and strength, whereby we may once again lead the world in creating a better planet for all human beings. Along the way, may we strive to be a little more tolerant of and loving towards our neighbors and fellow citizens, regardless how they choose to vote or live their lives. May we, in the inspiring words of Stephen R. Covey, choose to be a light, not a judge. And the next time you see the stars and stripes fluttering majestically in the wind at your local school, church, or car dealership, I invite you to place your hand over your heart. Bow your head a little and allow the sensations of gratitude for all this country has provided you to drown out whatever erstwhile angst may have simmered over past grievances, which we all have on one level or another. No matter who you are, and regardless what your race, culture, political persuasion, religious affiliation, sexual orientation, etc. may be, I invite you to cultivate the desire to learn, the will to work, and the integrity to adhere to conscience. In short, to unite in an embrace of the true and virtuous principles of self-respect, self-reliance, and self-government upon which our nation was founded, and upon which it became the greatest nation on earth. Such unity is our only real hope for collective success and lasting prosperity. May God bless the United States of America by blessing each of us in our individual pursuits of self-renewal, that we may yet honorably fulfill the sacred responsibility we all have of lifting and leading the rest of the world into the welcomed arms of safety, security, liberty, freedom, and peace. Thank you.